Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Aurora Stefarak and here I am to deliver you the weekly intuitive energy update for the week of November 8th, 2021. I finally remembered this is a timeless reading, okay guys? So if you stumble upon this video and it's not this week anymore, just trust that you're a vibrational match for the messages that are going to be coming through today. So I always forget to say that note. So thankfully I remembered right at the beginning. So welcome if you are new and welcome back if you have been here before. I'm back in my secret little space. I've painted the walls, but you can only see the one. So I'm really excited to announce next week what my big announcement is. There's like a fluff in front of my face. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna play the bowl to ground my energy here and get right into it. It is like 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock or something. I have been so crazy busy today, which I think has to do with the energy of this week. Just feeling like, you know, time is speeding up, which I'm gonna talk about that. So let's just close our eyes, come into our heart center, and I'm just going to connect to source, to my higher self. I'll call in anyone's higher self that's going to come and watch this video today. And I'm just going to clear the energies here. Okay guys, I got a huge message while I was clearing my energy, and like Archangel Michael came super strong. He was like, protection this week, Aurora, let him know, protection. Okay, I don't even have this written down. This is just channeled right now in this moment to deliver to you guys to protect your energy. So there's many different ways that you can protect your energy. You are energy, right? So you have an emotional body, you have a mental body, you have a physical body. If these things are not taken care of, if you are not nourishing your body, if you are not giving yourself enough water, if you are not resting enough, if you are constantly on fight or flight mode, meaning that you are constantly in stress mode, so your body has no time to relax and heal, because in order for your body to relax and heal, you must be able to access your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest, okay? So when you feel relaxed, a lot of us cannot access this part of our nervous system, so we don't even have an awareness of our energy, of other people's energy, of what I'm feeling, of what they're feeling, of what the world is feeling. So this week, like, call in Archangel Michael. He is the protector, okay? So all you have to do is call him in and say, hey, Archangel Michael of 100% pure love and light, can you please protect me? Can you please guide me on this path? And he will, but you have to ask. We have free will, and you have to ask. That is the only way they can intervene. Angels are messages straight from source. They are etheric beings, and they're here to bridge the gap between our physical vessel and our spiritual selves, right? So, I mean, miracles can happen when you're working with the angels, when you're working with the universe, when you're clearing your energy field, when you have clarity on your own emotions, on your own mind, on your own thoughts, right? And how your own little ecosystem is functioning. So that's how you can protect yourself. You protect yourself by being connected to yourself, okay? That was a big one. Right off the hop. Huge message. So again, protect yourself by nourishing your body with good food, sleep, water, exercise. Super basic, but super important, okay? So being able to support your physical vessel through these super intense emotional and mental transitions that are coming, okay? This year is wrapping up here. We are in the beginning of November here, and we're already a week in, you know? How did that happen, right? And so kind of like we're shifting more into this internal energy as the seasons go into winter as well. So what happens with our mental and our emotional body is we're just like the trees, we're just like the water, we're just like all of nature. We're migrating, we're changing, we're shifting, okay? But we just are disconnected from that part of ourselves. So a lot of the time I've suffered with seasonal depression my whole life, and up until this year actually, I always run away, or I try to run away in the winter and chase the sun, but this year I have other commitments that are keeping me grounded here. So I'm gonna be here and I have to make it through the winter. So I've learned I have to fuel my inner sun in order for me to really feel alive throughout the winter. So it's just like the trees, we're hibernating, we're going within, we're gonna drop all of our leaves. That is gonna nourish the ground for the seasons to come. It's a beautiful cycle, and so this is all an analogy for our own personal journey, right? And again, this is showing up in the mental and the emotional body massively, okay? So protection, guys, protection, protection. Okay, that was a beautiful introduction message. All right, so now I'm just going to start with my list. We don't have any astrological notes that I want to take today. This was all intuitive. I actually didn't even really listen to anything outside of myself this week, just simply because I've been so busy. So I haven't had time to really listen and tap in. I was just tapping into my own intuition and kind of what I have been feeling, right? So I do want to mention though that the full moon is going to be next Friday, not this one coming, but the one after. We just had that new moon, but I do want to bring awareness to this because I got the intuition too. Right before I came on, I had to look it up. So November 19th is going to be a full moon in Taurus. And Taurus is an earth energy, and it is a very grounded, practical energy, right? And so I want to bring light to the new moon that we just had in Scorpio, because this is our shadow self, right? And so this was a very emotional new moon. We're still in Scorpio season. So again, shining light on our darkness, on our shadow, on the parts of ourselves that we don't want to acknowledge or that we've suppressed or whatever it is. We just went through that portal through that new moon that really highlighted, and the new moon is all about shedding as well, right? So we went through this shedding portal of our darkest aspects. So if you've been freaking out lately, remember that, keep that in mind, ground yourself, protect yourself, bring yourself more into your body through exercise, through movement, through breath work, through meditation, right? Through mindful eating, there's so many ways that you can anchor in. It's just like whatever works for you, because there's like an infinite amount of modalities. It's just like what's going to help you to get to where you need to be, right? So yeah, so that is, I was just guided to mention that full moon that's coming up, like have an awareness, because it is going to be a very grounded energy. So everything we're shedding right now, in a week and a half, 2 weeks, we're going to be really anchoring in the new. Ooh, I like that, anchoring in the new. I gotta write that down. Okay, so we'll be anchoring in the new, and we're kind of going to be building up. So for these next 2 weeks, like, keep in mind we're in Scorpio season, and keep in mind that we just went through that massive Scorpio new moon portal that really opened us up, and that's why too your heart will probably be tender. I made a status the other day that was like, guys, like, this isn't pain in our heart, this is feeling, like we've been shut off from our feelings for so long that it's gonna feel painful in a way, but it's just like tender, okay? So really tap into that sensation in your chest and ask yourself, is this really pain, or am I just really sensitive right now? And we do go through phases of being more sensitive and then being more in your physical and in your head, right? So really, like, be aware of these cycles that you go through. A friend of mine, she goes 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. That's her cycle of like, oh, I feel really great, and then I feel like shit, and then I feel really great, and I feel like shit. And she told me she kind of was observing herself over time, because I said to her, you know, track your cycle, track your period, track, you know, your emotions, like when you want to eat a whole bag of chips and when you don't want to eat it all, you know, like bring in awareness. It's all about awareness, right? And so when we can bring more awareness into our lives and more conscious awareness into our lives, then we can start making changes, because then we can actually acknowledge where it is that we're at and where it is that we'd like to go. And we can also see the way that our biology, our physical body, kind of moves through its own cycles, right? Because we are cyclical beings. We are not linear. We are just like nature, and we go in circles over and over and over again, right? So yes, okay, so yeah, coming out of the Scorpio new moon, that's my first thing, which I just already touched on, is like, you know, be aware of this energy that we just went through, all that shedding, all that darkness, all that shadow, and then be aware that this Taurus full moon coming on November 19th, again, this isn't this week, this is the week after, it's really going to be bringing in and anchoring in the new. So everything that you're purging right now for the next 2 weeks, bring in that awareness. Okay, I'm purging right now so that I can anchor in what I truly deserve, what I truly love, what truly honors me, and what is sacred to me. Okay, and you might not even know, but the universe does. So believe me, don't worry. The universe has your back. Okay, so then I have massive purging of old, outdated patterns, which again, I have already touched on, but I have it written here for a reason. So I will go a little bit deeper into that. Okay, so we are supported right now. This is why I make these videos, is so that you guys can understand the energy that is right now and how you can kind of match. It was just 11:33 on the time. How you can match these frequencies. So basically, I'm holding a vibration for us to rise up to, so that when we are in these lower frequencies, we can go, oh yeah, okay, that's why I'm feeling like this. Oh right, I'm going through this right now because I'm being supported through this. And like changing your mindset, changing your perception, because if you don't do that, you're just going to keep going in a circle and circle. And the whole idea, we're always going to be going in a circle, but why not rise above and create that beautiful ascending spiral upward, right? And actually create a movement energy instead of feeling stagnated and stuck, right? 12:12 was the time. So yeah, and just learning, you know, how you work, right? And if it's like, you know, you've been feeling really angry lately, or you've been feeling really emotional, it's like, listen to that. You're purging old programs, patterning. This is from society, this is from ancestors, this is from, you know, your own personal choices, this is from past lives, this is from future lives, you know, like everything happens simultaneous in the spiritual realms, right? There is no time and space. Everything happens in the now, right? So we're learning how to access this now moment within us. Excuse me. Within us, right? And so that happens through bringing this awareness to things that aren't serving us. It could be a thought pattern, it could be a person, it could be a job, it could be your family dynamics, it could be a, you know, your relationship with your parents, it could be your relationship with your partner, it could be friends that you don't want in your life anymore, it could be having the awareness of how your energy shifts before and after work, how you can, you know, shift out of maybe having no breakfast in the morning to making a smoothie so that you're giving yourself, you know, it's these tiny little habits that we implement every single day that is really what creates our foundation and creates our solidarity. Okay, so really, like, we're all wanting stability, we're all going to be very emotional, we're all going to be very mental, and so how can we take care of ourselves in this time? Because there's going to be a lot of truths being revealed out in that collective consciousness. Yeah, and it's going to be really intense. So this is why I'm really urging this protection, and in order to protect, that's where you take care of your physical vessel, your mind, your emotions, your body, all of it, right? And so one day at a time, one moment at a time, okay? You're not going to just turn into your higher self overnight, right? You got to give the human some time to evolve, because the human is in time and space. This physical body is in this physical reality. And so I have to adapt as well, right? I have to reprogram all my neural pathways in my physical brain that have been running on the same track for my whole life, right? And so, you know, that takes time, okay? And patience and love and understanding and compassion and a lot of traits that aren't necessarily valued in society these days. But that's the whole idea of evolution, is like, you know, they ain't serving. So it's time to shed and implement these higher frequencies, which is love, you know, understanding, compassion, non-judgment, things like this. And this goes from looking outside and within, right? Like, so the way that you treat yourself and the way that you treat the ones around you, right? Okay. So we also have this I can't do this anymore energy, right? And so, like, again, that goes into your old programming, your old patterning. Like, how do I make it through this next part of my life without, like, freaking offing myself, you know? Like, it can get to that point, and, like, that's okay. Like, that's totally normal. Like, when we are at a point in our lives, which last week I talked about the depression and the awakening being the same experience, right? So in order for us to awaken, we have to die to our old self, right? And so all that's happening in the moment that you can't do this anymore is that you're being asked to evolve. You're being asked to look at it in a different way. You're being asked to shift your perspective, and you're being asked to learn something. The universe is saying, well, you have to learn in order to evolve out of this, or you're always going to be here, right? And that's the whole thing, right? So when we're in this I can't do this anymore energy, it's going to help us to change and shift us into the next phase of our lives, right? And so, you know, when you flip that script of you know, like, I can't do this anymore, meaning like I don't want to be here anymore, you shift it into I can't do this anymore. What can I do differently? How can I implement different practices in my daily life that is going to help me to overcome these struggles that I am in, right? And again, back to that self-love, back to, you know, believing in yourself to be able to overcome whatever it is that you're going through, right? So really using this negative energy, and the only thing is that this is the universe showing you that you're not supposed to be here anymore. And so it becomes very resistant energy because you're resisting the fact that you're not supposed to be there anymore and you're still there, right? So listen to the call when you're being told to leave, right? And not physically necessarily, right? When I say leave, it's like even that old program, that old pattern, that old belief, right? So a lot of this is inner work. Like, it's the first step is to go inside and to ask yourself, you know, what is it? What is my why? Actually, it's funny, a friend said that to me the other day, and it's a very like cliche question, but it's a really powerful question, because it's like, well, what is your why? Like, why are you doing everything that you do every day? You know, like, why do you choose to have that smoothie in the morning? Or why do you choose not to have breakfast in the morning? You know, what is your why? And keep chasing your why, right? And keep looking for ways that you can evolve past this level of consciousness that you feel stuck in, right? Because there is always going to be the negative and there's always going to be the positive existing. And it's like, where are you going to live in the middle of that, right? Because it's always going to be there, but you get to choose exactly where you're going to be in that vibration, right? Okay, so yeah, really utilizing this stuck energy to shift you into your next phase. Okay, and then I have heart healing activations again this week because, like I said, this is us activating to our emotional body. We are learning to feel, right? And so we may perceive our tender heart as pain, but it is really just tender. It is sensitive, and there probably is pain there, but really reprogram your mind to be able to interpret that sensation differently. And so when you are feeling like, oh my God, I have this hole in my heart, I have this void in my chest, and what do I do? Breathe. Like seriously, put your hand on your chest and breathe. Breathe life and love into that space, and you will fill it. You will fill it up, and you will be able to connect, because your hand is an extension of your heart, right? The heart meridian in Chinese medicine, or the nadis in the yogic tradition, they these energy channels run from your heart through your hands, okay? And that's why we have our healing hands, right? Because they're extensions of our heart, right? And so we can actually create this connection within our own being, right? Like, you do not have to connect with somebody else in order to be connected, right? You just have to put your hand over your heart and you just connect and you breathe. And every time you breathe in, you imagine, well, you call in Archangel Michael to protect you. And you can call in Archangel Raphael to fill your heart. He is the healing archangel. He will come and he will heal your heart. You have to ask, right? And so as we get more and more connected to ourselves and to our ear chakras, being able to hear our heart, right? But you have to create that silence. You have to create that space so that you're able to access the whispers, because they are very quiet. The whispers are quiet, and you feel the whispers of your intuition. The more that you learn to heal your heart and to realize like why you have walls up and what's going on in your life, right? Really, the heart is the source, right, of all of our pain and all of our suffering. And so, you know, we're getting activated into that so that we can feel it all again. And the reason that we need to feel it all again is just so that we can purge it, so that we can give it back to source. We say, thank you, source, here, this is the human experience that I had. Please download this into the collective human consciousness and then release it and let it go, okay? Because we have this beautiful connection with source, God, the creator energy, and he, she, it, all of it works through us as we are that as well, right? And so when we can access that part of us, which is right here, hey, look, be the change, through the heart chakra, right? That is our access point into love, into compassion, into understanding, into empathy. Wow, quite the freaking throat clearing. Yeah, so heart activation. So clarity around our truth as well. So that's probably why I just had that that throat clearing as well, because I was about to talk about the throat chakra. So we're being activated. So as our heart is being tender and we are learning how to connect and be more sensitive with ourselves and listen, it's going to activate our truth center, okay? So there's going to be things that your heart's been trying to tell you for a long fucking time, and you're finally ready to hear it and to speak it to yourself this week, okay? If there's things that's been going on in your life for years, for months, for days, for whatever, for lifetimes, this is the time that you're going to realize. You're going to realize through giving yourself that heart space and to communicate with yourself at this time, and to really be being gentle with yourself through moving through all of this turmoil that we have experienced in this lifetime, right? And so it's going to activate our truth, you know, like I was riled up, baby, on the weekend, because let's just say I haven't been mistreated in a long time, because I do not allow these people in my life anymore. And I will tell you, I allowed someone in my life and I got shit on hard, and I was like, wow, it activated all of my emotions that go all the way back to childhood, from abandonment, from abuse, manipulation, and narcissism. Okay, it was huge clearing, massive clearing of this energy from my body. But I'll tell you guys, like, when I was feeling this, like, this is what I did, legit. Like, I didn't know. Like, I feel a lot, okay? Like, I am a feeler. I feel everything. Like, I was talking to my friend Chelsea, and I was laughing with her because I said, girl, we go through the entire emotional spectrum in an hour conversation. We're literally, like, laughing our head off and then crying our faces off and clearing and purging and realizing. It's like every time we talk, it's the healing session, right? And so we're able to access these different aspects of ourselves. And as we speak and as we communicate and as we realize, we bounce these ideas off of each other and we ground each other into the truth of the matter, right? So she could give me a perspective and I could say, okay, well, this is how I'm seeing it. This is what I'm hearing. This is what you need to focus on. This is what you are like letting go of. This is what you're integrating, and we can just kind of bounce this off of each other and create a really beautiful feedback loop of information, right? So what was I gonna say? I forget. There was something I was just gonna say before I started talking about Chels. Totally blank, guys. Speaking our truths. I don't know. Guess I gotta let it go. There was something I did want to tell you guys though, but it'll come back or it won't. So yes, so the clarity around our truth, okay? So we are gaining through going through, the manipulation, clearing that from, no, I do have to tell you guys this. Okay, so again, I'm a feeler, so I feel everything super intensely, super deeply, those around me. That's why it is so important. Like, I'm a crazy major empath. Like, I will literally become you, which is why I have to be very careful about who I let in my energy, who I let in my field, what is mine, what is not mine, what I'm carrying, what I'm not carrying, all these different things from my ancestors, things from my past lives, all these different things. Like, I need to be aware because I am such a sensitive being, right? And so anyway, I was really triggered and I was really hurt and I was really upset because it was like it didn't matter what I said in this situation. I was the bad guy and I literally like couldn't even believe it because of the whole situation. I was just like, are you serious right now? And it didn't matter what I said. It was like, oh, prove this to me. Oh, no, you're that. Oh, you're only pointing out all the bad things and this and that. And I'm like, okay, I feel like there really only has been some bad things, thank you. Like, should I say thanks for that Starbucks you brought me 3 weeks ago, like that kind of thing? Like, I don't know, like, what the heck, right? I'm a little bit upset, so I'm expressing myself, and you are a friend of mine, so I would assume that you're able to receive where I am okay with things and not okay, but it was all me, and I was the problem, and I was like, what the actual fuck, right? Like, and it triggered everything inside me from when I was a child and when I, first had abuse in my life, which was mental and emotional manipulation and this whole power dynamic thing, and with like my old stepdad, and that was really the first time I experienced trauma in my life. And so it triggered me back to that in previous relationships, like with this one guy that I was with for a few years. Like, I can't even like my throat just like closes at the thought of what I went through in all of that, which it's for me, and I have learned and I have grown and I have compassion and understanding. But I was angry. I was super angry because I realized that most people run on this abusive, narcissistic template, and I live in my own little bubble, so I don't really get access to this much anymore. And so I did, and it was a real shake up to wake up for me to realize what is my integrity, what is my truth, what am I here for, what is my why. So that was me a few days ago, really anchoring in. So anyway, to actually explain to you guys how I went through this emotion, which I've never done it before, but I didn't know how to get this feeling out of me. Like, I was so mad. I was jumping up and down in my kitchen in front of my mom. I was freaking out. I was like, I don't know, like, oh my God. So I just stood there and I opened up my hands, like as wide as I could. And I just stood there and I just vibrating, and I was just so angry, because when you feel anger, it's usually when a boundary has been crossed, and definitely crossed boundaries here. And I was just so upset, and I was more upset because I have other people in my life that are going through the same thing. And it's like, guys, if we're gonna put up with this behavior, if we're gonna put up with being treated like this, if we're gonna put up with you know, people not getting back to us, or, you know, like there's certain things, right? And when I'm saying people, with my friends, it was actually like partners and stuff, right? And so like I'm like getting all butthurt for them, so I'm also carrying their energy as I'm processing all this stuff, right? And so like all I did, I breathed, I like expressed myself, like I was talking to my mom, I was freaking out, and I was like, what the fuck, who do people fucking think they are? Like, they can just fucking treat you like shit, and they can walk all over you, and they can fucking shit on your face, and then you're the fucking bad guy, and blah, 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 blah. And it was just like going on in my hands. So back to my hands, this is what I did, because it was like I wanted to literally like punch. Like, I'm not really like a punchy person, but I was totally feeling that way on the weekend. So I just literally stood in front of my mom, and I like stretched my hands out, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like legit going crazy. And I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do with all this anger. And I just like opened my hands like as wide as I could, and I just felt like the energy just going. And like that's my new technique for anger. I don't know, because you can only spread your fingers so far apart, and like, you know, like, like it actually, I don't know, it's this weird thing that my body did to help me release the energy, so I'm sharing it with you guys, okay? So anyway, that is what I did, just to show you guys a little bit of my human side, okay? Like, I do have moments, I do have times where I can't handle this human vessel either, but it's about understanding that the emotions are your guidance system, okay? That is the whole lesson here. And so we have to learn and understand, well, why am I feeling this way? That's what I put the pieces together for. I said, well, because I've been treated like shit so much in my life, it's caused me so much confusion. I've taken on these emotions like I'm the problem, and I felt unworthy because of the way people have projected their shit onto me, right? And so I have to learn to protect myself. I have to learn who to let in and who not to let in, right? And I have to protect myself energetically, mentally, emotionally, right? And so that's my story time. I hope that you enjoyed it. And because you know what, guys, like I'm human too. I'm just over here trying to friggin' figure this whole life thing out too. And so I like to share, you know, and be vulnerable with you guys so that you can understand, like, really it's about taking these practices into those moments. Like, you know, like I was like freaking out, like even my heart hurts right now talking about it. Like I just felt all of those emotions again by like explaining it to you guys, right? And so it's like listening to that pain in your heart, right? Listening to that wound. Why are you upset? Where does this come from? Where does this stem from? For me, I didn't experience abuse until I moved 2 hours away in with a man that my mom married and had a child with, that we left a year and a bit after we moved in because he was abusive. And so I didn't know, and again, not physically, it was mentally and emotionally, and very manipulative, very narcissistic, very controlling. And so that was kind of my intro. And then honestly, most of my relationships have been pretty toxic as well, just because that was my template, right? And that was what I would tolerate without me really knowing, because he had basically like convinced me that I was worthless, right? And I had believed him. And so I carried that through most of my life up until now. And so having these realizations about, you know, the core wounds that we carry are really, really important, and especially to understand your emotions on a daily level, right? To be able to understand, like maybe you do experience a lot of anger, and that's something that you really need to learn how to, you know, express or let go of or understand, so that you know why you're feeling that way, right? For me, it's been sadness my whole life. So, you know, like learning how to deal with these deeper, lower emotions, and why I've been so sad and why I've been grieving, right? And there is a lot of past life stuff that goes along with that too, right? So having this awareness, like, oh, I'm not just fucked up. Like, I've been traumatized, not just in this lifetime. That's why it doesn't make any sense to Aurora, but my soul, my higher self, has its own trauma that it carries as well, right? So my human vessel still feels that and still carries that, right? 33. Yep, awesome. So clarity around truth. So honesty, integrity, and communication. And then bursts of emotions. Learning the language of emotions to guide us on our path, which I just talked about. So high highs and low lows. So this is why we got to stay grounded, why we got to stay protected. And again, grounding meaning eating properly, drinking enough water, getting enough sleep on the physical level, okay? On the mental and the emotional level, it is energy clearing. So making sure you know if you're carrying someone else's energy or if it's your own, and if it's your own, how to clear that out of your field, right? Okay, I'll just read it, but I've already said it multiple times. Good food, water, exercise, emotional, mental, physical check-ins, deep breaths. Didn't say that one yet, so deep breaths as well. Okay, and then I have time is speeding up. So we're learning to prioritize our well-being in our own personal life, okay? So as we're going through all this purging, all this shedding, heart activating, throat chakra opening, being able to hear our intuition, hear ourselves, this will allow for us to basically anchor in, and as I said at the beginning, anchor in the new reality, the new templates that we're working towards, right? And I'm being told to share right now, like, and again, this is just channeled, I've not really thought about this, but new earth templates are being anchored right now. Like, this is the work I'm doing, and there's hundreds of thousands of other beautiful beings and light workers that are doing their own work in their own way, and we are getting closer and closer and closer to anchoring this source frequency. So and then we're going to share it with everybody, right? And this is the fun of it. And like, healing is not all about pain and suffering. It's really the opposite. It is about the joy. It is about the celebration. It is that fulfillment, right? After the grief, right? Because as low as you go is as high as you can rise. Because if you say, oh, I only want to go this low, I can only rise this high because there's still stuff there, right? Okay, we're going to go a bit deeper now. Okay, now I can go this high. Okay, now we're ready to dive a little bit deeper. Now I can go this high, right? And so it's this pendulum swing of going into your shit and coming out of your shit, and going into your shit and coming out of your shit. Okay, so as I said, time speeding up. So how does time speed up? Well, basically, our perception of time is changing, right? So it's like time can't really speed up technically, because technically time isn't real, it's not concrete. So how can it speed up? Isn't a minute going to be 60 seconds? Yeah, it will be, like on the physical plane, but it's our perception of time that's going to be shifting, and it's going to be like our chronological timeline is kind of like warping. Like, since COVID hit, our timeline of reality has really like gone through this warped perception. So, well, allowed us humans to go through this warped perception of time. So, especially being as like a lot of us had to spend a lot of time at home, or like start working from home, and all these different shifts that created this slowing down. And now we're going into this speeding up, because the world's starting to pick up again. The truth's going to be coming out. Things are going to be happening. That's why we're really being urged to emotionally and mentally ground ourselves in, right? And physically, of course. So anyway, time is speeding up, and that will create a sense of overwhelm for us and our physical body. And so, we're being asked to really connect more and prioritize our physical body, our mental health, and our emotional health. And that's just like going to help us move through this purging a lot faster. It's going to help us to connect more to our heart center, to be activated, and to really like create this beautiful energy field around you, so that when you go out into the world, your light body, your Merkaba, is protecting you, because you will have a clear energy field, mind, body, and spirit, right? That's the whole idea of this. That's why you're clearing all these different things from your energy field, so that you can really be connected to source, to God at all times, and be hearing the intuition and be guided through the process, right? Because that's the beautiful thing about spirituality, is like, you don't need to know anything, right? Like, that's the whole thing. It's like, you know, I mean, it's good to know things, but you know, you use your logic and your heart and your emotions. But the beautiful thing about it is that when we can read and understand and tap into our emotions, you don't need to actually understand the why, like the how, right? Because the why is always important, but the how. So it's like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to do that? How am I supposed to go from here to there? And it's like, hey, don't worry about it. You got to clear your energy field. Oh, my light went off. You got to clear your energy field. Maybe it's because my computer's off. Oops. Oh. So you got to clear your energy field so that you're not attracting these same experiences in, okay? So the reason you're having the same experiences, the same emotions, is because you're having the same thoughts every day and you're doing the same things every day, right? So we're really being urged to step out of our patterning and our programming. Okay, and then learning how to honor ourselves as sovereign spiritual beings and realizing the intricate and intrinsic nature of our body and soul. So again, that's the intuition connection. So the intrinsic connection of our soul and our body, which is that we are a spiritual being having a human experience as well as a human being having a spiritual experience, right? Because you can't be one without the other, right? So really integrating these new higher lessons into your life and evolving your own personal consciousness is going to help for you to, I guess, like, the goal isn't to like be more spiritual, but to be more spiritual, right? Like to be more aligned. Like when I think of to be spiritual, it means to be in alignment with your truth, with your authenticity, with your integrity, with you, with who you are, with source, with God, with the divine, to be of service, to love, to help, but to have compassion and understanding for the ones that are still suffering as well, which most of us are still suffering, and that's the whole point of all of this stuff I've been talking about for 40 minutes, right? So that is all that I have written down for today. So I have all my decks, well, not all my decks, but a couple of decks here, more than what I need. Oh my goodness. I think I want to start with the fairy deck. We're going to start with the fairy deck. Fairy Tarot. Okay. So here we have the Fairy Tarot by Doreen Virtue. So I am going to just give these a little shuffle and see what's going to come through for this week coming November 8th. Okay, we have Queen of Autumn. Generous, stylish, gracious, and practical. Be practical with respect to how you proceed. The ability to make anything more beautiful. Meeting someone who can help your dreams come true. Okay, guys, this is so funny because this is what I mean by clearing your field. Okay, so here's an example. Say you're a yoga teacher and you really, really, really want to put more time and energy into teaching people yoga, okay? But you're in school, you have a job, and you have no idea how to put that energy and time into that. Well, if your belief is, I can't be a yoga teacher because I'm too busy, then that is going to be your reality. But if you shift from that and you change it from, I can't do this, I don't have time, to, I would really love to teach yoga. If this is the divine moment, the right moment for me to be doing this, please provide the opportunity for me. There you go. You just opened a door energetically because you're not blocking it anymore, right? And then say, oh, ring, ring. Hey, hi. Like, I haven't thought about you for a long time, but I just thought I would give you a ring because you came into my mind and I need some teachers 3 times a week. Are you able to do that for me? Oh my God, those times work so perfect for me. Yeah, for sure. I'll be there. That's so amazing. And there it is, like it can really be that simple, guys. Like, you never know how the universe is going to provide for you. So this is just showing us right here, the first card out of the deck is to say, hey, when you are clear on what it is that you want and what it is that you need and the why, the how is the universe's job. That is not your job. So let it go, let it go. Okay, that was beautiful. Let's see, what else we got here this week? King of Winter, knowledgeable, experienced, fair-minded, unemotional. Get advice from someone professional and objective. Public speaking and unemotional relationships. Interesting. seems kind of all over the place to me. So get advice from someone professional and objective. Public speaking and unemotional relationships. Okay, so really for this card, what I am getting is your High King is being activated within you. So this unemotional relationships is, and then public speaking, like to me, like I'm just reading that as the throat chakra, right? Like our throat chakra is being activated. We're able to communicate our truth to ourselves. And we're letting go of these unemotional relationships, these relationships that don't fulfill us emotionally. And if you're needing help to process that, then it's just saying to get advice from somebody. So if you need a book in for a card reading, that's a good idea. If you have a counselor that you go to that you can talk to about things, that's a good idea. If you have a trusted friend, you know, go to them, you know, like talk to somebody to kind of process, you know, where to go next, and somebody that isn't going to, I guess, so if you're going to talk to a friend, make sure that they are unbiased, right? You don't want to go to them and then get advice and be more confused, right? So like literally this King of Winter here is just telling you to connect more to your logical mind when you're perceiving unemotionally available relationships. Emotionally unavailable relationships. Okay, Seven of Spring. Be assertive. Don't back down from what you believe. Courageously stand up for yourself, right, guys? So our truth's being activated, and now we're also being encouraged to empower ourselves, to be assertive, be decisive. That is, the universe doesn't provide for you when you're indecisive, because how does it know which way to go? You have all these different potentials in your energy field, so you have to be decisive and you have to make a decision. So Queen of Spring, brilliant, loyal, talented, friendly, believe in yourself. Wonderful people want to help you. Maintain a balance between your work and home life. Okay, guys, this week, like seriously, people are going to be helping us like crazy. This is what my cards are telling me right now. Like we're going to have the most synchronistic events happen that have ever happened in our lives. People are going to be showing up, and this comes, so I'm seeing brilliant, loyal, talented, friendly, right? This comes when we're in alignment with our authenticity, with our truth, with our integrity, right? And when we can be in alignment with those, then we naturally attract people that vibrate on our frequency. Even if you're at the grocery store and you make a friend in line because you guys both just like somehow came together because of your vibrational match, and now you have a friend that you never would have had before, right? And that was just because you're in alignment with who you are. So we have Princess of Summer, gentle, sensitive, kind, and inexperienced. A new relationship or emotional experience. Invitations to social events, a compassionate friend you can share your concerns with. Oh, I love it. That's so beautiful, guys. So there's a lot of emotional support. So, but I'm also hearing like if you're not open to that, then it's going to be really, really hard for you. So this is the message kind of like to gauge where you're at emotionally and with getting help from where you're at emotionally. 10 of Summer, an emotionally fulfilling life and family or friends, raising children wisely, people you can trust. Okay, so everyone in our life that is being shed right now, please trust that they are not meant to be in your life. The Lovers, true love that is long-lasting, choices made from the heart, a return to good health, and it was reversed as well, guys. I pulled it reversed, and so that was just as I was talking about, you know, releasing old relationships, unemotional relationships, right? And so this is all about choice. The Lovers card is all about choice. So what are you choosing? Okay, so the universe is saying, hey, I want to support you, but what are you choosing? And then the ego comes through. The illusion of being trapped, placing too much importance on material items, and getting caught up in fear and worry. Okay, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Ego. I'm also hearing discernment with ego, and this is all about discerning who you're going to get vulnerable with, okay? Because all this is about, you know, connecting with somebody that can help you through, that can help you make the decisions you need to make next. to make the right choices, but have discernment on who it is that you're going to open up to. Because if you choose to get vulnerable with the wrong people, that is just going to cause more pain, cause more heartache, right? So we're really being urged to use our discernment, to use our mind in order to decide if we want to open our heart to people or not. And then also being trapped, so that the ego might be convincing you that you're stuck, that you're alone. It's not the truth. You have to just ask for help, be open to receive, and listen. And last but not least, plan your next steps with an eye to the long term. Have patience. There are more good things to come. Satisfaction from a job well done. Wow, guys, like this week, I'm getting a lot of really positive synchronistic energies. Like, I think that through us clearing our emotional and our mental body and really anchoring in these higher frequencies of love and understanding and compassion, and really healing our source cord, our source wounds of why we are the way that we are, we're really going to be supported. Like, wow. Being distracted and failing to see a magical opportunity, taking someone or something for granted, and discontentment with life, right? There you go. And so that is what's going to stop you from calling in these beautiful synchronistic relationships, is that pessimism, that negativity. The moon, powerful intuitive epiphanies, letting go of worry and fear, understanding the truth of a situation. All right, beautiful. And the moon is also emotions. So this is connecting to our emotions, our intuition, to guide us through. Wow, that was really beautiful. So that was the fairy deck. I'm just going to close this up because there's so many cards. Yes, that was beautiful. So the fairies, they got some magic up their sleeves this week for us, guys. Okay, let's go beyond Lemuria. We're just going to pull maybe 2 from this deck because I want to get those activation cards as well. Okay, so this is the Beyond Lemuria deck here. Alright, give me 2 cards, please. Beyond Lemuria, what are the 2 main energies that we're going to be dealing with this week? What are the 2 main energies that we are going to be dealing with this week? Okay, there. Oh my god, I don't even want to open my eyes, guys. It feels so nice. When you can learn to meditate and clear your mind and get right there, I'm telling you, it is a magical thing. Very magical. Okay, oh my god, and this is the bottom of the deck, so I have to show you it. Internal Explorer. What did I just say? That when you can go within and be in that pure space within your own being, oh my god. So Internal Explorer, of course, confirmation for everything I've said already, right? Oh my god, it's so perfect, guys. We have 38 new blueprints. And what did I say, guys? I said that that's why I brought up the full moon happening on November 19th. I said we are anchoring in the new blueprints coming, the new blueprints of new earth. All of us light workers have been working our freaking balls off, and we're finally able to help the collective on a larger scale by helping individuals, right? So we're having these new blueprints being anchored right now. And then we have vulnerability, which is perfect. Oh, and I have 2 11s. They're both 11s because 38, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. 38 is an 11 and then 56 is an 11. So, vulnerability, right? New blueprints with vulnerability, guys. Like, oh my god. Talk about the heart activation. Talk about the feminine activation. The feminine is rising, and I talked about that abuse, manipulation, power, control. No more. Like, whoo, like something really freaking activated in me on the weekend, and I know how much power that each person has in the collective if we each activate ourselves in these super deep, powerful ways, energetic ways. Okay, so we're being activated into our vulnerability. Okay, and again, there is discernment that is being needed. And that's what that internal exploration is going to help you to do, to discern what it is that's serving you and what it is that is not. In here, paradigm shift, air. So this is all about the mind, guys, and paradigm shift. So shifting your perspective, which is exactly, so shifting your perspective on what it means to be vulnerable, right? What does it mean to be vulnerable, right? And why is it not okay in your world, right? Maybe you're too sensitive. Well, no, we are just very sensitive, and there's nothing wrong with that. Soul star chakra, perfect. So spiritual activations, guys. Merging with the divine, yep. Higher self, okay, guys. So this is it. Heart, throat, it's all the chakras. It's everything. And being activated into this protection energy, because we're able to get vulnerable with ourselves. We're able to show ourselves the deepest aspects of ourselves so that we can evolve past those aspects, right? And so we are going to be the ones to support us ourselves through this unfoldment, through this death awakening process, right? Beautiful, so beautiful. Okay, we got the sacred geometry activations next. So sacred geometry activations, and then I will do the art of attention, and then I'll get out of here. Okay, so we have the sacred geometry activations. Okay, passion. The frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within the intensity, moving us from chaos to the calm of its core, where we can let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. Holy shit. I couldn't have said that any better. That was amazing. And it's a 7, and 7 chakras, right? So when I think 7, it's our passion being activated in our light body. And then prosperity. So the frequency of prosperity supports our feeling of well-being by allowing the inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart, and soul and spirit sing. It invites us to express ourselves in joy and celebration of the abundance and riches that the universe provides. Beautiful. Prosperity linked with passion, guys. So that is your abundance. This is your recipe for abundance, is to tap into your passions, because your passions are literally what you have been working on for lifetimes. No wonder you love them. No wonder you're so good at them, right? So tap into those, right? And spend more time. Like I brought up that yoga teacher example, right? Spend more time doing what it is that you love, and then that will eventually become your life. And then we have communication that I also pulled here. So, and 14, 1 and 4 is 5. 5 is all about change, right? So learning to communicate, changing the way that we communicate, right? And also I got that with prosperity. And so to me, that was saying, make sure that you're speaking positively to the universe, or you will be blocking your blessings. If you are negative, if you're pessimistic, if you're not choosing gratitude, then you will block your blessings. So be careful how you're communicating. Okay, that's what the universe wanted to say there. And then we have Tantric Journey. So the frequency of Tantric Journey helps us to unlock the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach a state of wholeness and completion through our sensual experiences with ourselves and with another. Okay, and so you can use your sexual energy to heal. Okay, so then you can actually use your orgasm to heal. So you can, have like transmute, like in that moment of climax or during the whole process, you can build up to release what isn't serving you anymore, and you can use pleasure as a way to actually unlock your body. Okay, so that's what this card is saying, right? And so passion's here as well, right? And prosperity and communication with the physical body, with your sexual body, right? And this is, I'm really hearing a self-practice for you to do right now, okay? So really connect with yourself, and it doesn't have to be sexual either, but it needs to be sensual. It could be just a light massage or something like that, but you're definitely being urged this week. And then, yeah, the heart. So working with the heart, right? Oh, yeah, reminding me to put the hands over the heart. Yeah, So really work with your creative energy this week as well, okay? When you get bursts of energy, really utilize that energy to move through whatever wants to come out of you, whatever you need to move through. All right, and then the art of attention, guys, last but not least, and then I'm out of here. All right, let's give me 3 focuses for this week, please. Art of attention deck. So we have transformation. Through all transformation, your spirit is love. And then we have relationship. Practice right relationship to all that is. And then we have fortitude. Stay strong in your body to create fortitude in your heart. Okay, perfect. And this was reversed, okay? Fortitude was reversed. So it's talking about taking care of your physical body so that you can support your spirit, right? So isn't that perfect? And then relationships here, guys. So our relationship, and this for me is like, yes, it is external relationships, but this is your own personal relationship to yourself, to your body, is healing, transformation. So you're transforming through all of this gunk right now. And so really, like, you're getting to know yourself again. Like, you've never met yourself today or yesterday or the day before or the day after, you know? Like, you've never been this version of yourself before on any timelines except for this now moment. So we're being urged to rebuild our relationship with ourselves, with our body, with our mind, with our spirit, with our soul, with life in general, with death, with all of it, right? And see your surroundings and lessons as blessings. Beautiful. I'm going to end it right there, guys, because that was such a beautiful way to end it. Oh, I want one more. Kindness. The highest wisdom is kindness. Exactly. All right, guys, I hope that this has helped you bring clarity for this week for you, or if it does, help you in the week ahead as you are going through the process. So, yeah, I'm really, really excited to tell you guys all what's going on next week, because I'll definitely be ready by next week to show you guys the great reveal, So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I do have my weekly giveaway going on. We're on week 6 already. So it's already been 6 weeks that I have been doing this giveaway. So go to Translucent Truth Yoga Facebook page and scroll on through that and find the post. You have to like it, share it, and comment on the post. And there's a few goodies that I'm going to be giving away this week. So yeah, I hope you guys have the best week, and I will see you next week. Lots of love. Bye.